Hello people, this is Squash Corner and this is going to be my overlay tutorial video. Usually I have a friend that does my overlays for me. This is actually his work right here. But I thought it would be a good idea to make a video for anybody interested in making their own personal overlays for their streams. This is what I have, which is not as good, but I feel like this will be a good foundation for anybody who is interested in making their own custom overlays. Alright, so to get started, the first thing I'll probably do is open a file. A new file for sure. And you could put any type of width or height, but for me personally, I like to do 280 by 720 because I usually do that with thumbnails and whatnot. So that's what I usually do. So here we go. Oh, important announcement is if my screen probably looks different than your screen. So something you should check out is if I go to Windows, these are all the things that I have checked marked. So I honestly recommend anything right here that's checked. You should probably click these two. So yeah, check whatever I have checked just to make this a little more simpler for you guys. Alright, here's our empty little square, but we'll worry about this later. Let's try to actually now make the overlay. If you look here, so all we really have is something right here and something in the bottom, and I gave a little space for webcam. So we need something of this height and this width, for example. So here's another example. So what we need is, I would like you to left click to the rectangle tool. But before we actually do that, we need a color. So it really depends on what character you like. So for our demonstration, we're using Megumin, for example. She's a red character, so we go to red. But it could be anything. Like if you make like a Deku from My Hero Academia overlay, you can make it green. And to do that is you click here and you can pick whatever color you like. So you could go for green, but we're gonna go for a red. Right here, click OK, and now it saves. So what we could do now is go to rectangle tool, click this, and then now I'm holding the left I'm holding the left click, and you could pull it and make it whatever shape you want. It doesn't have to be perfect because you could alter it and change it as much as you like. So for now, right now, this is a little rough, but we'll just keep it like that. And there we go, it's red because that's the color we chose. Alright, it's not perfect at all. So we also have a move tool, and that's where you can move anything we like. So what I like to do, so something I want to say is it looks a little stiff, I guess. Like, let's remove the background by pressing this lock icon, getting rid of this. So our rectangle is not really dynamic. It's just like a stiff shape. To fix that, if you want to make it a little more dynamic, a little more interesting, I right-clicked, go to blending options. After the right-click, go to stroke, and I always go for like 6. Go to size 6, push OK. And then now we have the move tool still. We could kind of move it and adjust it as much as we like. But now it looks a little more dynamic. It's not perfect at the moment. And to adjust it now, go to Edit, go to Transform, go to Scale. And now that we have you'll see these borders for us to scale it as much as we like. What I'm doing now is pretty much, let's go up, right? If I go up, our whole shape moves and adjusts. Pretend you don't want that. You want a specific side. You want either left side, right side, up, down, whatever. If you hold shift and push up, now it specifically aims for one side. So I'm holding shift and just dragging it. And there we go. And then we can adjust it as much as we like. So we'll get it maybe like to where the border shows and to cover the whole bottom square. Alright, ready for the next shape is I adjust it a little and pretty much, yeah, I think this is a good shape for now. Alright, so we want to make another one. Like, we want to make one of these now, like the chat box. So to do that, we practically do the same thing. Pick a color, we have our red, and we need the rectangle tool once again. And then pretty much, we could do, like right here, maybe? I think right here will be fine. Like this is just from Judgment, dragging down. And then again, I'm just holding the button, holding the left trigger, holding it to get our shape. And there we go. So this boy is kind of in the way. It's kind of making it ugly. So what we could do is, if you want to adjust whatever shape you want, you need to press it depends on what it is. So we want to move the bottom one, let's say. The bottom one is called rectangle 1, so make sure you click it. Now you have access to the one you want. So now we go edit, transform to get this guy out of the way. Transform path, scale. And let's try to get this guy away because we want space for the other border, right? So shift, hold this, and I think that's fine for now. And then again, we could adjust it. So going back, let's go to rectangle 2 now because you know how it's sharp again. We could do this exact same thing. We click, what is it? We click right, blending options, go back to stroke, click stroke. You could adjust it as much as you want. Oh yeah, make sure you click on the stroke though. Don't just press it. You have to click on it to get the screen. It goes to 6. And it practically saved our settings from the last time. And there we go. They're practically almost identical. And then of course, to make that perfect, go back to transform, scale, and then we could adjust it as much as we like. We could make this whole thing the chat, but let's just let's pretend you have a webcam. Pretend you're interested in a webcam because that's what I usually do. So if you want webcam space, all we could really do is go rectangle 2, my bad. Edit, transform that shit, scale, and then we could just give room for the webcam. We could just pull this all the way up, and there, as a little spot for the webcam if you have one or not. Okay, I made little alterations just to fix the width and the height to match these guys as much as possible. So yeah, this looks about right. But pretty much if you have chat going down here, it's going to be a little hard to see. So to fix that problem, what we could do is we're going to get this border here. You know how it's like black? It makes it really easy to read. So pretty much to do that now, we're making a whole new rectangle. So go back to here. So we want the color black. I have the color black here. If you don't know how to do that, click this. And again, if you click this, you can make whatever color you want. We're keeping black. So now that if we make it shape, it will be black. So now let's do what we did earlier. We should make room for maybe like putting whatever you want right here, like on the top part. I'm just gonna put chat like this, for example, how the others have. So let's give room for chat. Let's like, oops. Ooh, I made a mistake. We have to go to rectangle. There we go. Now we can make it. There we go. Rectangle. Give space for chat. Now we drag. It doesn't have to be perfect because again, we could always change it. Go like this and click. Okay, black didn't show up, but here, this is what the color that it's grabbing. So right now, it thinks it's red. And to alter that, where it says properties, click this guy, and then yeah, we want black. So that's the color we're getting. That's exactly what we want. Now press enter to get out of that. All right, now we could adjust it as much as we like. Go back to the move tool. That's what I do just to be safe. Go to edit, transform, scale, and then we could alter it as much as we want. Also, again, it looks sharp, right? Okay, we go back. Now it's called rectangle 3 is the black rectangle. Go back to blending options. Go to stroke. And let's make it the black color. Let's make it the same exact color. So it loses that sharp shape. There we go. It looks a little more rectangle. Size 6. Perfect. Let's just press OK on the color. Press OK on the stroke. And there we go. It looks a little more dynamic. And again, you could always transform it, scale it to whatever you like. What I like to do is I like to show off the little parts of the red and the white from the borders. So to do that, of course, hold shift. Let's try to get that done. But you're like, it's full black. It looks kind of ugly, but we're not done. We're not done just yet. So the black part is called rectangle 3, right? So make sure it's clicked and go right here. No, not here. Go to opacity. That's what we want to deal with. And I usually go for like around 60. Yeah, we'll keep it at 63. I feel like that's a good spot. And then now you could actually see the chat a lot more better. And I feel like it looks a little more dynamic. So now this is a little more fun. Let's go to, let's just say, you could put anything. You could put your name here. You could put what this is, chat. So we'll do chat, for example. Go all the way to the horizontal type tool. Click on that guy. And then we could press it wherever we want. If you see these borders, don't freak out. I always put enter to keep that away. And then now we could type whatever we want. Let's go backspace. And then now we could type whatever. Now this is all up to you. This is your own, you know, how you like to style it. So thanks to Photoshop, we have all these options to have, you know, to call it chat. Just pick whatever is your favorite. For, I guess just for an example, let's do, let's go to something a little more thicker. Here, we'll do this one. Click that, and then now if we type it, it will have that type of text. So let's go chat. Let's do chat. There we go. Push the move tool. Don't be too afraid. Push the move tool. We can move it wherever we want. If you want it a little more dynamic, what we could do is, I feel like stroke is like your best friend. You go to stroke. There we go. It looks dynamic again. And then maybe maybe it's a little too thick. Maybe you could adjust as much as you like. So you can make the lines thicker. You can make it thin. So I guess like right now we'll just make it thin just why not. And then we'll push the move tool. And then we can put it kind of wherever we want. We'll just keep it here for now, just as a demonstration. Again, you could do whatever type of text you want and make it as much as dynamic as possible. So like right here is a little basic, and then we'll just keep it basic just for you guys to understand exactly how to do it. And then you can change it as much as you like in the future. Alright guys, important announcement. This is just to make you guys, some of you guys' lives a lot easier. If you press Control, Alt, and D at the same time, I hate how you have to press all this. Yeah, like I'm doing a little Spider-Man motion with my hands right now. Let's say we want to make exactly this. Like, pretend like you didn't want to make a whole new shape because it was a pain in the ass. And you're like, why can't I just grab this shape, duplicate it, and put it here? You could totally do that. What you could do is go back. This is called Rectangle 1. Make sure you click that. Now I'm holding Control, Alt, and D together. So click this. Control, Alt, D, Alt, and D. I'm dragging it, and then you can make a whole new shape. And there we go. It's the exact same shape. We duplicated it. I just held it and let it go. And pretend you're like, well, I need it to be this size, you know, this way. So go to Edit, Transform. Now there's a Rotate option. Oh, a little fancy. Huh? And then what's it called? We could drag it to how we like it. So, like, I think, there we go. The borders kind of help us know where's the middle. And there we go. We're not going to use this, but this is just for anybody interested of trying to do a little shortcut. Okay, now this is the fun part of the video. Okay, so this is a little behind the scenes, but I have a file full of just Google images. So I'm going to show you a quick little thing, and we'll go by order of all these images. So right now, something I need to tell you guys is pretend you don't like this red border. You're like, it looks lame. Can I put a design? Can I put something a little more interesting? You actually can't. So to demonstrate that, we have this. It's just a background of just a design. I'm dragging it. Press it here where it says plus copy. There, and now it has it. And pretend you want to use this design. You're like, oh, I just want something a little, the background. And pretend you're like, well, I want to put text over it, but now it looks a little too clustered. It looks fucked. Press the unlock tool. It's not a tool, just press unlock. And then now you can drag it. So let's drag it to our thing. And just to show you the demonstration. So go to Edit, Transform. And again, you could make this your border if you really want to. So we're just shrinking it, making it the same size. Shrink. And that's fine. And then again, press Enter. What I do is go to Edit, Transform again. And then now I could scale it. Shift. And then if you like it, there you go. There you go. You love, but let's just pretend you need this. You need this background. You can put whatever image you want. So right now we have it in the size you want it. And pretend like if I type anything, it's going to be hard to see because there's just so much going on. So again, so this is called layer 1. And then what we could do is, no, not fuck with that. Go to opacity. And then you could adjust it as much as you like. There we go. Like, let's just say, like, there we go. Now if I type anything, put an image, like, it looks less cluttered because the opacity is lower. So now it looks a little more easier to put things over this. But this is just an example if you want a different image. Okay, we want our images now. So we drag her. Go to where it says plus copy. And then there we go. She's dragged. Sadly, this is like a fake PNG. Press this. So, oops. I didn't mean to do that. But pretty much we can't just drag her like the character because she's attached to the background. But to do that, we go to here, this little crop tool, quick selection tool, go to plus, and we're grabbing just her. So we could adjust the size if we want to. I usually do this just to make the life a lot easier. There we go, the plus sign, and we're gonna grab all of her. There we go. Don't be afraid if this takes you a long time because you want every single detail. Of course, it's harder the more complex the image is, but don't be too afraid of that. Just take your time. You know, like this stuff, it takes a while, and it's not easy to just pick up. So now, there we go. That's fine. So yeah, we have the character. It's a little cut, but it doesn't matter. This is just for demonstration. We drag her here. Then, oh, she's a little too big. Like we said earlier, guys, we go to edit, transform, scale, and we shrink her. She still looks a little tiny. If you hold shift, we can make her a little more fat. Press enter, and there we go. It looks like she's a part of the background. And of course, you could do this as much as you like to get any type of logo, character, anything you want. Alright, we're practically almost done. The next thing we would like to do is actually get these squares and then try to combine them with these logos of what you have. So like, let's do, so like we said before, rectangle tool, make whatever shape you want. And then pretty much like, let's go for a yellow. Since Migu means like, you know, black, red, let's go for yellow. So can't find a color here, press this little rainbow guy and you could get whatever the hell you want. Let's just do this yellow, it doesn't matter. It looks like mustard, but we're just doing this as an example. Remember, edit, transform, path, scale, and adjust it as much as you like. Okay, we want an image, right? So minus this. So something I personally recommend is anything with kind of like a white border we can fuse to the background. So anything like this is a good example. You could just look up YouTube silhouettes or PNGs. I usually put this, so like for example, pretend you need Instagram, just put Instagram silhouette, PNG, Twitter, anything, any social media, TikTok, whatever the heck you're interested in. Just put that, and then try to find an image similar to this, where it's just white. So I have it all in a folder. That makes life a lot easier too if you have everything in a folder. Okay, so we got our image from our folder, which is this guy. So something interesting is if you press this, right click, and have the magic wand tool, you kind of click whatever specifically you want. This doesn't always work for me for some reason, but like if it's a shape this simple, it grabs it. So if I click the magic wand tool, this whole thing gets captured. We could put the move tool, grab it. Now this is ours. So anything with the white thing like this, we could kind of adjust it and make it kind of like a part of our background. So let's try to like toggle this really quick. So let's try to like grab this and try to fit this guy here. Let's just do that as an example. Shift, hold this. There we go. That's fine. Let's make him a little fatter. There we go. So let's say that, oh, first we kind of want him to stand out, right? Go back here to whatever layer he is. Right now he's layer 4, blending options. Stroke. Yeah, and there we go. Look, he has like a little kind of like silhouette, which looks really strong. A little border. And then we want to blend him in the background. We want to make that. So how we do that is right here it says normal, right? Well, this is not normal. This is a little special. So we could go to darken. And there we go. It kind of removes the white. It kind of blends it together. And I feel like this is kind of like a good way to make it a little more interesting compared to just leaving him white there. And there we go. And we could fit him there. And remember, guys, it looks ugly right here. So if we don't be afraid to use this to test out which thing you need, which layer you need. So we're looking for the yellow, which is this guy. No, there we go. This is our rectangle 4. I honestly I highly recommend naming these, but I usually don't because it's like I don't work with too much. I usually just find it. It's not the worst thing ever. Oh, and then pretty much what we could do is we could use that stroke. It looks ugly, but if we make it yellow, for example, it blends in well. And there we go. And pretty much from you doing that with all the other social media, making a bigger border, and then put the text tool to put it over, this is all that's really is happening. I practically taught you everything to make this. We made these backgrounds. We're able to blend it together. All we need is the taller thing if you want to put your name. So hopefully that gives you a good starter pack of how to make your own overlays from everything we went over. If you have any questions or if anything looks a little too complex, I'm going to put my Discord in the description of the video. So if you join in and ask any question you want, specifically about overlays, I'll do my best to help out. So that's pretty much it. See you guys.
Fly.